Hello YouTube, and I welcome all of you back to another Rage video, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it is the finally, the long-awaited return of Overkill reactions. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just reiterate this just before we begin, because I've got very few words to say before we get started. Apart from, apparently, from what I've heard, I Hear Black, released in 1993, is considered the most underrated Overkill album of them all. But with that being said, I could turn around and easily say that every single album Overkill has ever released is the most underrated metal album of all time. Partly because Overkill is the single most underrated metal band of all time. It's also been one of the longest, that's been at least 43 years in existence. And it's the longer way to return, because I think this is when Gustafsson was no longer in Overkill, I believe, because this has someone called Merritt Grant, Blitz, Vernie, and... Hold on, boys, let me just pop this one in. Let me find out. Blitz, Vernie, Gant, and... Shit, my boots. Who else was it? Sid Fallick was still in this, I believe. Oh, no, hang on, yeah, Ellsworth. Well, regardless, although I think it does matter quite a bit, we're going to at least see what the buzz is all about. So, if you guys are ready for the mayhem to begin, and why do I say Overkill are the most underrated of all time? You'll find out. So, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. Let's begin. Dreaming in Columbian in 3, 2, 1, and... Oh my god.
Close my eyes and bring me there. I fall apart, the pieces are so hard to find. A puzzle of pieces thrown in there. Dream. Hold my eyes and take me there. One by one I watch as the pieces disappear. My friends become the ones I hate. This has a cards in, won't stand the word. I shut my eyes to escape. And all my lights have turned to black. Every time I close my eyes and think all my thoughts are coming back. Holding up a face this weekend, Columbian. path of separation from my soul. Where's the path of separation is now? My wife's pieces fall apart. I try to make a brand new start. I'm falling in, I'm falling out, I'm falling up, I'm falling back, I'm falling down, coming around, and that's why all my lights are turned to black. Every time I close my eyes, you can Columbia. All my ones are coming back. Falling on my face is begun. Columbia.
Interesting. Very, very interesting to start. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dreaming in Columbian by Overkill. I'll level with you guys, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to be straight up, because one of the things that I've always loved about Overkill in the past is that it's one of those groups that I've been very upfront with, because they seem to bathe in what they love, and I think that's really, really some of the best mindset you can have. Just be overcome with what you love to the point where it becomes you, and you in turn become it. And Overkill, quite possibly, I mean, even though I haven't listened to quite a lot of Slayer, Overkill is almost on the same level as, let's say, Megadeth when it comes to thrash, because just like Megadeth, I picture retro video games like something like Duke Nukem or Doom. I'd say Overkill is a lot more Doom than Duke Nukem or stuff like that, or even Contra. Because, listen, you want proof? I will at some point redo my Grinding Wheel, the entire album of that, including stuff like Mean Green, Killing Machine, and Red, White, and Blue, because that shit is like really, really, like, I mean, it's not even that old of an album, but it is just, it's up there. Let me put it like that. I say these things because Dreaming in Columbian sounded, purely from just my own experience, sounded a bit softer than what I had remembered Overkill doing. Now, with that being said, Overkill is actually really, really good at doing doom metal a lot of justice. Skull Crusher, one of my favourite songs ever made by Overkill, is technically doom metal. But I'm struggling to work out why but the song is simultaneously too short but not long enough. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, an ideal doom song should be quite long. It should be something that boils and brews like beer. It should be something where the smell lingers. Like, basically the overall beat to Skull Crusher is doom 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 doom. It's like that. It's slow. It's progressive until Ellsworth and Gustafson. I keep calling him Ellsworth. Guston and Blitz literally set the album on fire. And Hear the Fire. Was it called Hear the Fire? It was one of the earlier ones, but it was an explosive. It was explosive because it built up to it. Dreaming in Columbian kind of doesn't really build up to anything, and the solo was it was a good little solo, but it didn't really break. Like, Overkill solos are really good at kind of like standing out with what they've built on before, and then they throw something else into the mix. In Dreaming in Columbian, it's like, you know what? I'll tell you what the music for Dreaming in Columbian is like, just from my perspective. It's like gravy. you can put gravy on a lot of things. You could put it on lamb, you could put it on pork, you could put it on beef, you could put it on chicken. You can even get something called bovril, which is basically drinkable gravy, which you could just have in a mug and you could just drink it. It's good, but there are much better things out there than just drinking gravy. You know what I'm trying to say? And you can put lots of things into gravy. You can flavor it like you can have like sage and onion gravy. You can have like chili flakes gravy. There's a lot of stuff you can add to it. It just it lacks a kind of zing, a kind of like a flavor. I don't really want to call the song dull, because if Blitz is good at one thing, it's that he sort of like conjures up like a deep wail inside. He's kind of like a banshee of singers. It's sort of like it builds up and then it releases itself. In this one, Blitz is kind of a little bit reserved and conservative, and if that wasn't like that's problem enough already. But the problem is that you know what, that's a good point. I suppose when you think about it, they did kind of like focus on riffs a lot in Dreaming in Columbian. The only problem is that so it's all well and good to focus a lot of your attention on that sort of thing, but unless if that's the only thing you can really remember off the top of your head, then that's a little bit problematic. I want my Overkill to be like an atomic explosion. I want chaos. I want destruction. I want absolute mayhem, pandemonium, chaos, Final Destination stuff. I want shit to be real. Dreaming in Columbian is, I hope more than anything, it's kind of like a prelude to what's going to come up, like a calm before the storm kind of scenario. Because there have been examples in, I think there were, because Elimination was not really was not slow. Mean Green Killing Machine was not slow. There's actually quite a lot of stuff. Overkill, it's kind of rare for me to get into an Overkill song that is, especially the beginning of an album in particular, that's quite slow. But if, you know what, Overkill haven't really let me down in the years past, so we'll see what comes out next. I'm gonna give this another go. In fact, I'll do the next song will probably be I Hear Black anyway. So I just want to see if there is something I'm missing, just to see what's up. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction video to Dreaming in Columbian by Overkill. Please make sure to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Dreaming in Columbian yourselves. Please let me know if there is anything I'm missing from this. But then again, I'm just being completely fair. So you can't blame me for that. Please make sure to also check us out for the next videos, ladies and gentlemen. In case you're wondering, I don't say please make sure to like and subscribe anymore, because I think people who do that are just kind of like tacky and kind of cheap, because they've got like millions of subscribers anyway. Like, what more do they need? And I will see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, but bye for now.